Okay. So if we just segregate the SQL or SQL, anything you can tell. So
Hmm.
structured query language is the full form of SQL. So if we can segregate based on the different subjects of it or different aspect to doing the thing, there, I mean, we can segregate the things in 5 types of SQL. The first type is DDL. If you haven't heard this, so this is very much interesting and I mean meaningful as well. You can match the thing, but you are living the things. You can quite, I mean, you are able to matching the things with the other one, so that it should be interesting. So
Okay.
DDL is there is DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, DQL.
Hmm.
Okay, so DDL is data definition language. So for DDL, why DDL? I mean, DDL is responsible for any kind of tabular structure related stuffs. So first of all, as I mentioned in our database, we need to create some table.
Okay.
So otherwise, we cannot do the other manipulation, the DQL, those stuffs. The first step should we need to execute some DDL statement. So inside DDL statement, what the things we can do? We can create a table. Okay. So if the table is created, create the table means while doing the creation of the table, what the things we need to think? We need to think how many columns should be there. Okay.
Yes.
And with that thing, no, nothing to remember with the row number, because while creating the table, we are not sure how many rows should be inserted to the table. So daily
Okay.
basis, if you find a new record to be inserted, that thing should be inserted there. Okay. So just give me 1 second, please.
Yeah.
I'm coming in 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. So DDL is by DDL you can create a table. While create a table, you just need to think about the number of columns it should be and what are the column names. Then what are the columns data type? So you will be storing some data for each of the column. So what
Hmm.
kind of data type the column value should be? Data type means either the particular data type can be integer.
Integer.
Suppose
Yeah.
yes, integer means number without any floating point, without any decimal point. It should be whole number. It can be floating point. Floating point means there may be some decimal place. I mean, after point, there should be point. There should be fraction. The data type can be string. Means it will be storing some character value. Suppose name. You are storing someone's name there. So it should be character. You are storing someone's ID. ID specifically, it should be numeric value. So it should be integer data type. Okay. You are storing some date of birth of a particular employee. That should be date data type. Date is neither character nor a integer. It's a date data type. Okay. It should be having its own format. Suppose YYYY DD This kind of format it should be. And the delimiter just like did YYYY hyphen DD hyphen This kind of stuff. But the entire thing is called a date data type. It's not a character. It's not a number. So two things we are remembering as of now. The number of columns, the name of the columns, three things. Name of the columns as well as the data type of the columns. Now the fourth things, when we are declaring the data types, we might have to think the maximum number, I mean maximum size of that column. Means suppose I'm storing some employee's name over there. So I need to put some value. What should be the maximum length of that column? Suppose I'm putting string 50. Let me check. What's the full form DDL? DDL is data definition language. I'll be coming. This is there in the next slides. Okay, let me go to the next slide. All the things we'll be learning once more time. Just a quick thing, DDL and inside DDL will be creating the steps. Creating means we'll be creating the table. When the table is created, the table is existed in the database. Then if anything requires to be, the structure modification of the table. Structure modification means suppose we need to add a new column inside the table. Suppose we need to drop a particular column inside the same table. Suppose we need to rename a existing column. Okay, so all those kind of stuffs which is altering an existing table, those should come under alter statement. Okay, then truncate. Truncate will be deleting all the records at a single execution from the tables. Okay, truncate will make the table empty, but the table will be existing. Okay, and the last option drop, it will drop the entire table. It will be deleting entire table structure itself. If we execute drop statement, we will not be able to find that particular table inside the database. Okay, so just to repeat once more time, create means creation of the table, alter means alteration of the existing table, truncate means truncating means deleting all the records from the table, drop means deleting the entire table structure from the table. So those are all execution steps when we'll be executing this kind of command over here. The table structure related thing should be appearing. Now comes to DML. DML is called data manipulation language. I'll be coming each of the topic in the next slides. No need to worry about it. So by DML, okay, DDL is totally responsible for table structure. Not any kind of data related thing will be operating on top of that. So when our table is ready, when our DDL is completed, then we'll be going for DML. DML is data manipulation language. So when table is ready, we can insert the data. Means we can insert the records or rows one by one by insert command. Okay, so when all the data has been inserted, we found we have mistakenly inserted some of the records. We need to update the record. A few records I need to update. Then we can go ahead with update statement. Okay, I found some of the record has been mistakenly inserted. So then I can execute the delete command at the end. While executing delete command, it will omit that particular row from the table. Okay, today we'll be focusing only DDL and DML. I'll not be touching these steps. This should be covered in the next days. BQL is a huge topic. It should take 2 days to be completed. Then we'll be covering DCL and TCL at a single day. So today we'll be focusing on DDL and DMLs only. Okay. Okay. Here is the details thing. You can get the things. DDL means data definition language. Over there we can create table, alter table, truncate table, and drop table. So I'll be just going at each of the statements execution with the hands-on part. You can also get a look over there, and if we want to open your particular software, MySQL software, you can also try, or you can note it. You can try at home. Home means actually just at offline time. Okay, other things are fine, but
Yeah. So far, so
okay.
good.
Okay, so I'm opening my MySQL workbench.
Mine is I'm trying to open this MySQL workbench like since last 5 minutes. But once I enter the password, it keeps buffering, it keeps loading that opening SQL editor, but it like it doesn't go to next step, it doesn't open.
Okay, please then that time see my screen. At the end
Okay.
of the session, if that is not open, then we can quickly check at your side. Okay,
Yeah.
but it's very simple. Just take a note it anywhere and just keep remembering it, and you can find the same thing again. After that, I mean, at the end of the course, I mean, you can, I mean, end of the this session, I can check it. Okay.
No problem.
So, in MySQL Workbench, this is the thing. Actually, I mentioned it yesterday. So, this is the entire workbench. In this particular thing, we'll be doing the query. Okay, the query part we can do in this portion. So, when we will be executing a particular query, this is the button to execute it. Just select that particular statement and execute it from here. And at the below section, there should be output. No, this is not an actually output. This is a particular log window. So if there is any issue for the query, it will be throwing some log error over here. Okay, some messages. It's like error code, this kind of stuff. There should be an output window which should be coming at the middle, just like this. Okay, it's not come yet. When I'll be firing the query, then you can able to find it. You might have I checked in your screen, you might have some windows, some pane is there as well.
Yes,
So you
yes,
can
yes.
keep removing it by this button. So if I just
Okay.
click on that, you can see my the particular schema window and all that has been removed. Just click on that, it will be come back again. So you have to click this one. So just click this one, will be gone. Click this one, this the below thing should be gone. Okay, so let's try with this bigger query pane. I think that should be fine. So in the left hand panel, all the databases is available. I mean database schemas are available. We'll be working in Teradata training schema. Over there we can find there is no tables. I have dropped every tables. Yesterday there was all the tables present or available, but I have dropped the tables. So that is why no, this kind of button is not available. I mean, we cannot expand the tables. So when I'll be creating the tables, you will able to see the table values. Okay. So let's create our first table. So I'll be executing create statement. Okay.
Mm.
So while creating a table, obviously the syntax should be create command. Create is a keyword over here. Okay. One more important thing. So while typing for SQL language, it's very helpful to know because SQL is not a case sensitive language. So I can put create as well, or I can put there will be nothing wrong with that one. Okay. But in standard procedure, when we'll be following company's rules and all our company standard SQL thing, we should not have to go ahead with this way. Either way, we need to maintain, otherwise, it's a block or small. Okay. Just to, I mean, it should be looking nice. That's it.
Mm.
As of now, generally, we should just going ahead with the running letter. That means a smaller case. But when we'll be learning Python, Java, any kind of stuff, so we can see those are very much case sensitive. So for each of the character and all, whatever there should be block, that should be block letter. But when they should be small letters in nature, they should be small. So just to keep this thing in mind. For SQL, it's very easy, so no need to worry about of the syntax specifically for the case sensitive one. Okay, so create keyword should be there. Then table keyword. I'm creating something. There are other database objects as well. I mentioned view. So that is why which object I'll be creating? Table. So create table. I need to put a table name. It should be user defined. So suppose I'm provide employee table. I'm creating employee table. Okay. Create table employee. So this table is a new table. We can just expand this thing If we just execute all those steps, we can see our new table should be created over here. Okay, inside that, put two braces. Open brace and close brace, and put your command there. What are the commands should be there? What should be different columns available over here? I need to pass the same thing over here. So first column can be employee ID. So while declaring any column name, don't put any space as of now. When we'll be trying first, just if you want to, I mean, this kind of stuff, I'm just putting an underscore. So when you try to recognize the things with a two different word, then just put an underscore between this. It's a normal syntax. Later we will be renaming it. No need to worry about it. But just like you can put employee ID as well, the total thing. But the main thing, I mean, don't put a space between multiple character. So employee ID, this is our first column. Then we need to think about what should be the data type. For integer, we should not have to put any size, because integer should be by default 8 bytes of length. Okay. Int, for integer, int data type should be there. Employee ID is my first column name. Put the data type name. Nothing to put over here. No size needs to be mentioned for integer. Put a comma. Let's put employee first name. Okay, first name should not be integer because this is a character. For character data type, we need to put varchar, and we need to mention some size. This should be the maximum size. Suppose let's put 50 characters of length. It should maximum take. So inside that table, if I just going to push some data whose name is more than 50 characters value, then it should throwing me an error, as I have declared this column size to 50. Okay. So employee last name. Let's put it. Varchar 50. What are the other things you can put? Experience. Let me put exp. It should be integer. Okay. And address should be there. Okay, state should be there. Let me put state. Okay, state should be varchar. Let me put 30. Okay, so this is the entire thing I'm mentioning over here to create an employee table. So let's execute it. Let me just quickly repeat once more time. Create is a keyword, create table, table name, all the column names. Employee ID is a column, employee first name is a column, employee last name is a column, experience of the employee, state, which state he or she is belonging to. So just put it with that thing. Let's put some of the data type for each of the column, especially for integer. No need to put any size. If this is varchar or any floating, I'm just putting salary. Salary is not integer data type. Then we need to put float data type with its sizes and all. What should be the size before point and after point? How many things it should be entered? Those kind of stuffs. Date data type I'm not coming. It's a bit complex. In later examples, I'll be coming with date data type. Okay. So just execute it. I'm executing it, selecting it, and just click on there. It has been successfully executed. I can also see if I just click on here. So this is the timestamp. I just triggered it, and we can see it's a green button. That means the particular thing has been successfully executed. This is the logger window. Okay. So if I want to check the table, just refresh it. You can see inside the table, there is one table created called employee. Okay, I'm just clicking on top of that and we can see all the structural stuffs has been displayed over here. So
Okay.
employee table should be having employee ID, employee first name, employee last name, experience state, and their corresponding data type. Okay. We can also select the data over here with a query window. Just like, let me put select. Select is a keyword. Actually, this select keyword it should be coming under DQL. This is DQL. Just I'm checking a bit in DQL how to check the data inside a table. Okay, so that is it. But the DQL main thing we'll be learning on Monday.
Okay.
Just I'm checking what is the data inside the table. So I'm putting select star from. This is the command. Select from over here. Sorry, select from. Just copying the table name and pasting it over here. Star means I need to print all the column names. So I need to print all the tabular structure over here. If I mention specific column names there, then it should only print those specific columns I want to print. So as of now, I'm not learning DQL. So just I'm selecting the employee table. Okay, so this is the main resultant. This is the log and this is the main result. I'm eliminating the logger structure as of now. If there is any error, log will automatically populate. If the particular query is successfully triggered, then no log should be appeared. Okay, I mean it should not be popped up from here. So I just execute this statement, select star from employee. Over there I can see tabular structure has created properly with employee ID, employee first name, last name, experience state with no records available to it. Because we haven't executed DML statement yet. We just created a table with DDL statement, that is the create statement. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So my table structure is ready and everything. Now few more points within DDL. Let me check what is there. Okay. So I mentioned data type to you, column length to you as well. Constraint I haven't covered yet. So what is constraint? For each of the table, we can impose some constraint. So what is different kind of constraint? There is also a homework to you. So check what are the different kind of constraints available. What are the different constraints are available for MySQL database? Let me tell what is constraint first. Constraint means imposing some rules, maybe on top of table, maybe on top of a particular column. Specifically, it should be particular column only. Suppose I want to put a constraint that my table should be, okay, this employee ID column should be not null in nature. Okay. Or my employee ID table should be unique because this is a primary key. So not null is a constraint. By default, all the column is null. Nullable means I can insert null value, means no value to it. But if I want to impose some not null constraint, okay, let's execute this query once more time. What happens? Let's see. I'm executing this create table once more time. It's showing an error because table employee already exists. That's why it's not able to create this employee table again. But I need to impose some constraint to show you. Then what I can do, I can execute create or replace. This kind of stuff, it will be creating the table or replacing the table. This is one thing to execute. Otherwise, what we can do, we can drop the table in another command. Drop table. So this is the syntax of dropping a table from the database, means deleting the entire table. Why I'm dropping it? I want to impose some constraint. I want to show you some example of constraint on top of employee ID. That's why I'm dropping it and I will be recreating it with the modified code. So this is the command drop table, table name. Drop is the keyword, table is the keyword, and here is the table name that you want to drop. Just execute it. The table has been dropped. So there is no table over here. If we just run this query, it will be failing. I run it, it failed with this red color stuffs. Table, this is the schema data. Table inside that schema, I mean, you can see data training dot employee means this database dot table name doesn't exist. Okay. So I'll be creating once more the table with some constraint or suppose not null. So this kind of constraint I can impose over here. So column name, data type, then constraint I can put. Okay. So I
Okay.
can re-execute it. It has been successfully executed. So the table should be present over here too. Okay. Just I have imposed a new constraint called not null. Not null means the data should always be present. Suppose I want to enter a particular record to the table over there. Suppose I inserted first name, last name, experience, state, but I forgot to insert employee ID. If this is the scenario, then the table data insert might be failing because for a particular record, employee ID must be present. There may be the scenario I inserted employee ID, I forgot to insert or I didn't get the particular experience of that particular employee to be inserted. Then there will be no issue because experience is not a mandatory column. So that is why what is mandatory, what is not mandatory, we can determine this not null constraint. Okay. So it cannot be null in nature for a particular record. So this is one constraint. What are the other constraint can be? Primary key. If I want to impose a primary key on top of a particular column, okay, let me do this. Let me use create or replace statement. Okay, it should be working. Let me run it. No, create or replace will not support it here in this database. Okay, fine. I can use this create or replace in other database, but not in this database. So let's create table and let's dropping the table when we will be recreating it. I'm dropping it once more time. Let me impose a primary key. So I can directly use primary key. Okay. So this is the option. Now this is the keyword for primary key. Employee ID, integer primary key. I can impose multiple constraint as well. Specifically, if we impose primary key, by default, it should be not null in nature because primary key should be always unique as well as not null. This thing I have already mentioned in yesterday's class. So that is why each day's class is very much important that is also dependent with the next day. Dependent on the next day and all. So I can also put not null over here. No need to worry about it, but no need to use because if we impose primary key, that means that should be unique as well as not null. Okay. So I can execute it. That is being executed. Let me refresh this. It should be present. Over here it is present. And you can also see employee ID is it bold. And here they're mentioning this thing in short form PK. PK means primary key. So this constraint has been imposed over here. Okay. There is
Yes.
another way to, let me drop this table. Another way to impose the primary key as well. I'm just putting integer over here. At the last line, we can put constraint. Put a constraint name. Suppose CONS on top of which column? Suppose employee ID. Is the constraint name primary key. Put the column name within bracket. So I'm creating a constraint. This is a constraint name I'm giving it to it. And what kind of constraint? It should be a primary key on top of employee ID. I can put multiple things as well. It's a surrogate key, as I mentioned yesterday. So on top of employee ID and employee first name, I'm creating a surrogate key, and this surrogate key should be the primary key for our table. Okay. So this is the command of imposing the constraint in this manner as well. Okay. It's successfully executed. Table employee created. You can see both of them are primary key. Rather, you can say the combination of these two columns is primary key. Okay, but this should not be the case. Actually, primary key should be only employee ID. So I'm removing in this statement, or I can just only update employee ID over.
What was the first steps of the, because I typed the same thing as you. I typed in your screen, but mine it's not getting the output, it's error.
Okay, I'll be checking. I'll be quickly checking. What is the time? Okay, let me complete some of the steps over here, and then I'll be quickly coming to your screen. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, the things are understandable to you, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, let me complete few of the steps. Otherwise, I will not be make it within 7. So
Okay, no
let me
problem.
complete it. Let me stop the recording. Then I'll be quickly coming to your screen.
Okay.
Okay, so this is how we can create the table. Our first creation has been completed. We will be going ahead with the alteration steps now. Okay.
Okay.
So our table structure is this. Let me select the tables one more time to check the final data. This is kind of data. This is the data. As of now, no record has been inserted. That's why it's null. Suppose I want to rename a column or add a new column. Which column I can add? Suppose CT. CT I want to add. Okay. So we don't want to rerun the create statement again. Dropping and recreating the statement, it's a bit tough into the production. Suppose the table is already launched in production. So we need a quick modification inside the table. So we should not drop the table and recreate the table, because when it's live, if you are deleting it, it should impact the environment. Suppose you are working in a big company, suppose Facebook or any other. So in the backend, you are deleting a table and you are recreating it. So at the meantime, who will be checking particular Facebook or any other application at that time? They will not found anything, or they will be finding that particular data to be missed there inside the UI for some reason. I mean, for the same dropping reason. So that is why we should not drop it. Rather, we can use the alter statement which is required to be updated. Okay. So that is why it's time for to learn alter statement. Alter table, put the table name employee. So alter table name. Then I'm just going to the next line. You can put into the same line, no issue. So what kind of alteration statement there is? There is add, means adding new column, add city, put the data type as well as length. So it should be varchar, obviously. Length should be suppose 20. So alter table name, add city, varchar 20. I'm executing it, successfully executed. Let me run this query. select star from table. Can see a new column has been added called city. Okay. So this is how we can alter an existing table. We can drop our column as well. Suppose drop instead of this, just use this drop city. Okay, I think we need to put a column keyword. Alter table name, drop column city. Column should not be there. Let me check once more time. Yes. So alter table name, drop column name. So while dropping, no need to mention the data types and all. So alter table name, drop the particular column name. Okay, so it has been dropped. Then run it again. It will not be executed. I mean, the particular city will not be there. You can rename an existing column. So alter table name. That thing is fixed over here. Instead of drop, I can put rename. Suppose, okay, instead of state, I want to put employee state. Okay, rename from state to employee state. Okay, rename from is a keyword. This is the old column name. To keyword, then new column name. This should be the syntax. No, it's failed. Okay, there's some wrong syntax I have used. What is the wrong syntax? Let me check. It should be state. It's fine. Rename state to. Let me check a bit. Okay, if I'm stucking with any syntactic error, we can just go ahead with this coding steps or quickly check over here. What is the issue? Let's check. This is a debugging steps as well over here. Renaming columns not in pandas with an alter statement. Yeah, it's MySQL. Obviously, we need to put it. So to change a column, enter following statement, alter table name, rename column. From keyword should not be there. Okay, I need to use column keyword, old column name to new column name. Okay, fine. So rename, I need to use a column keyword over here. Okay, alter table name, rename column, old column name to new column name. Let me execute it. Yes, it's successfully executed.
Yes.
Okay, we can see, I mean, it was state earlier. Now it's been updated to employee state, EMP state.
Yes.
Okay, so those are different alter statements. There are lots of alter statements are available as well. Just like I forget to put a constraint over there. Now I want to impose a constraint on a particular column. So I can update the constraint as well over here. So those are the different aspects we can update it by alter statement for a already created table. Okay. So what the things we have learned till now? Create table we have
Create,
learned. Drop table we
drop.
just learned, but we can do it. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, drop table, alter table, and now I think we'll learn truncate table.
Truncate as of now I can execute, but we cannot show you anything because there is no data till now over here.
Oh yeah. It's like
Empty
to
table,
empty all
yes.
the entries. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So first learn some let us learn with some DML statement. Okay. So DML is data manipulation language. Let's insert some
Okay.
records over here. Then after learning DML, again I'll be coming back to this DDL with the truncate statement and drop statement once more time.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm jumping to DML statement. DML means data manipulation. Here is the DML. Okay, the second one. So DDL almost I think it's clear to you. DDL is, I'm repeating once more time. DDL is for table structure related thing. Anything which is corresponding to the tabular structure, not tables data. Okay, so anything related to tabular structure, that is DDL. Anything related to tables data, we want to insert anything updating the data, that is DML, data manipulation language. So in DML, what are the mandatory steps? Insert, update, and delete. Okay, it's not mandatory. Either we can use insert. Insert is means inserting the record. Update means updating the existing record. And delete means deleting an existing record. So let's insert some records inside it. So put insert keyword, insert, then into. Into is another keyword. Insert into table. What is the table? This is the table employee. I'm removing this alter statement. As of now, it's not required. We are learning insert into employee. Insert into employee table. We can put the column names over here with a comma separated manner. We can put, we cannot put as well. If we remembered it, then we should not have to put it. Let's do not put it. Just I'm passing the different values. Okay, so this is the command. Insert into table name values. Value can be in the same line, no issue. I can put in different lines as well. So values, first bracket, this bracket should be open and closed, and within that I need to pass values with a comma separated manner for each of the columns data. Okay. Okay. And if the particular column is varchar in nature, then while passing the value, we need to pass this thing inside a single quote. If it is a date data type, also we need to pass the thing in a single quote. If this is integer, it's not mandatory. We can put within a single quote, we cannot put. But if it's a varchar data type, we might have to put varchar and date data type. We need to pass the value by within a single quote. Let me show you. So employee ID, let's take 1, 2, 3. Employee ID, put a comma. Then employee first name. Employee first name, suppose put Ajit. Ajit is varchar. Employee first name is varchar in nature, as we mentioned. Let me check. Yes, employee first name is varchar. So its varchar should be always enclosed. It should be quoted over here. Let me put Ajit. Yes. Comma. Last name. Put Sharma. Anything you can put. Experience. How many experience he is having? Say, let's 16 years. Comma. Employee state. Suppose, let me put Manipur over here. Okay, I'm putting Indian state. So, insert into employee values. Inside the values, this is my first columns value, that is employee ID, comma. The data should be comma separated. Values, then first name, then last name, then experience, then state. Each of the things are comma separated, and the varchar ones, I just put a single quote at the beginning and end. Let's execute it. It's successfully executed. Let me run the query. Where is the select query? I have deleted it. Okay. Select star from table. Okay. So this is our first record. You can see. Let me remove this pane over here. So first record has been inserted. 1, 2, 3. Ajit Sharma 16 Manipur. So this is the null means there is no record over here. They have represented it null. So the first record has been inserted. This is our first record of this table. Okay, it's clear. We can insert
Yes.
much more records. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we cannot pass this table, this thing again. I'm just putting 1, 2, 3 over here as employee ID is unique. It's a primary key. So primary key cannot be duplicated in nature. Let's use it, check it. I'm just keeping 1, 2, 3 over here again and changing the particular employee, all the details. Haryana. Okay. I'm executing it. It should be throwing an error. What is the error? Duplicate entry 1, 2, 3 for key employee. It's a primary key. So that is why I cannot use this employee ID. I need to choose a employee ID which is not existed. So I'm choosing 143. Let's execute it. Okay, it's executed. You can see one row has been affected. Let me run this. So I'm just showing you the thing, what kind of different error we can get in our project. So this is the probable error we should get because a primary key cannot be duplicated in nature. So I tried to insert the same primary key record again and I face the error. Okay, so you can see the second record has been inserted. 143 Monojit. Okay, the surname I haven't modified. Sharma, experience 20, Haryana. Okay, you can see this is the data. So this is how the data can be inserted. I can insert another record 157. Let's put Shanti. Let's put some female employee. Shanti. What I can put? Surname Roy. Okay. From Bihar. Having very less experience. Suppose 6. Executed it. Executed successfully. Let me run it. Okay. It's there. So all the data have been inserted successfully over here. Okay. Now insert command, hopefully that is understandable. Going ahead with the update statement. Update means we need to update the existing data. So suppose I mistakenly put Sharma over here. Monojit surname is a different one. There is a wrong data entry by myself over here. So how to update it? We can delete the thing and insert the thing over here again. This is one thing, but let me go ahead with update statement. How to do the update statement? Update keyword should be there. Update table name. No table keyword. Update table name. Set is a keyword. Then which thing I need to set? The employee last name. Equal. Suppose Monojit Kumar. Last name should be Kumar. But if I just execute it, it will update the entire record. All the data's last name should be Kumar. There we need to use some filter. Filter, how to impose filter? Where keyword should be there? Where employee ID equal
143.
143. Correct. Yeah. If we do not impose this filter, if we just quickly execute it, there will be a mishap. So all the things should be updated to Kumar. But this is not the scenario. I want to update this thing only. Or I can also update with employee first name equal Monojit. Anything we can do, but better let's update with a primary key basis because this is a unique key and this is very small to type over here. That's why I can update by this one. So update table set column name equal to particular data. Where is the particular filtering operation. I'm filtering for the particular data I want to update. So where employee ID equal 143. Executing it. Let's run the employee table once more time. So we can see Kumar has been updated over here. Okay.
Yes.
So this is how update should work. Now, what is delete statement? How to delete a record? Okay, let me show you. So suppose I want to delete the last record. So the same kind of for update, what we are doing in update, it's almost same. Delete.
Table name.
One thing should be there. From keyword should be there. Okay. Delete from table name. If I execute it, all the rows should be deleted. We need to mention a filter where employee ID equal 157. We can filter with the basis of any other column as well. That should also work. So I can put employee first name equal Shanti. It should delete all, in the entire record. Okay, just execute it. It has been successfully executed. Let's run the employee table once more time. Yes, so we have currently 2 records available. So this is how the delete statement works inside DML. So we learned the basic DML statement. So that can be a bit higher level as well. I'll be giving you some exercise to do with some advanced level of DDL and DML. This is the very basic things we have learned. So with some advanced level exercise, you can solve it. If you are not able to solve, we can directly discuss this thing in the classes over here. How to solve those things. But it's very easy. Take help of some web. Just try to do the same basic stuffs at your own, at your system, and then go at the help from web. And definitely you will be able to understand, because we are learning the thing over here. We want to know the all functionality. If we are aware of the functionality, then we can quickly search from web as well. As I mentioned, there are lots of things or huge things over there. We should have to memorize during the interview, that is frankly speaking. But while working, if we forget anything, if we know how to do that, what should be the functionality of that particular steps, we can quickly check in web, and that should solve our thing very easily. But if you do not know the functionality, if you are searching over there, then it should be very tough to you to complete the thing. Okay, this is the thing. Okay, one more thing. DDL, we missed to go ahead with truncate stuffs. Let's do truncate. Okay, over here I'm just putting truncate. Table is a keyword, truncate is a keyword, table is a keyword, then employee table. So while using any DDL statement, we are using a tables keyword over here. Okay, and that table keyword is not being used for any other statement. Only DDL's table keyword should be there. Truncate table name. So it's truncated. If we just run the query, there is no record available. Okay. And drop. Here is a good, the question may comes. The difference between drop and truncate. That means,
well, the drop will delete the entire table with whole the table
whole
structure
table,
will be
yes,
gone.
yes, the table structure will not be there.
Whereas truncates will only delete the entries.
Correct.
Of the table.
Correct. Now my next question is, when we are truncating the thing, it will truncate everything. And when we'll in the DML execution, when I'm just running only delete statement without any where clause, it will also deleting all the tables data.
All the entries. Yes.
So what are the difference between truncate and delete? Okay, truncate is a DDL, and delete is a DML, that is fine. But what is the other main difference between truncate and delete? Okay, this is also a question. Please, this thing also, please check it. I'll be putting these questions in WhatsApp. So for the new associates, I'm not sure why they're not joining. I'll be discussing the thing. So just try to check those question at your side at home.
Okay.
Okay. So let's execute the drop statement and the table has been dropped. If we just go ahead with the select query now, we will get the error. The table does not exist.
Okay.
Okay. So we have covered the DDL and DML.
Yes.
A bit advanced thing should be there. So
Okay.
let's learn the thing gradually in the next classes, or after covering DQL, we'll be coming over here again with those extra things. Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
like
Now,
I wanted to
yeah.
show, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just stop
Okay.
sharing mine and I'm just stopping the recording as well.